Develop success from failures. Discouragement and failure are two of the surest stepping stones to success. Dale Carnegie. My friends, 10 to 15 minutes each and every day. That is all we ask for market mastery. All we're doing here is learning how to accurately track price movement. What does this week look like? Well, as we end the week, we see stocks are up for the day. Everything else is down, but that doesn't mean everything is down for the week. Let's first look at stocks. Moving higher and higher and higher they go. 1.05% alone for the S&P 500, just climbing on up. We had a doji for the Wednesday-Thursday two-day candle. And on the Friday, again, we saw things shoot back up. We can see in the morning up, further up in the afternoon. On the half-day chart, well above the weekly trend line, same on the two-day. Look at all the volume as this week ended. Pushing higher with higher volume. Just unbelievable. It just keeps on going. What about the NASDAQ 100? Last week, the high was 429.85. We've hit 430.24, so we did go a little bit higher. It's always good to compare those numbers because you can't always really see it there on the chart. It is hard to see. Up for the day, 1.69%. Look at that high volume. Highest volume we have seen in quite a while, going around to the turnaround all the way back at the end of October. We can see that the two-day candle is sitting right there on the weekly trend line. Half day was below it and took off in the morning, pushed above it. And, of course, a nice candle sitting there on the weekly trend line as we end the week. So stocks just continuing to move up. Now, what about bonds? How did bonds end? Well, we saw where bonds were peaking down to their most recent low. Didn't quite get up to the average volume last week. We look at the low the week before, 93.26, 93.10. So it did go just a touch lower last week. And then, of course, this week, green spinning top pushing through the weekly trend line. On the two-day chart, we see the same thing. After a nice, strong Wednesday, Thursday two-day candle, Friday started off weak with, of course, a down move. You can see where things peaked with the dividend being issued on the 1st of February in the morning, blowing some of that off in the afternoon on Thursday, and then down on Friday. About as much down in the morning as it was in the afternoon. But bonds, again, ending the week after trying to move up, ending weak for the week. So we'll see how that continues to move next week. Look at what gold did for us. Now, as we look, we can see on the two-day chart that, again, that Wednesday, Thursday candle popped right up to the ceiling, this purple line for us. It's been a place where gold has stopped going all the way back to May of last year, maybe even further. We hadn't looked further than that in a while, but we can see where time and time again, it stopped, and look on this two-day candle hitting right up there again. I'm sorry, that's the two-day candle. We can see on the weekly doing the same thing. And then the two-day blowing off steam, down for the day, 0.95%. We can see on the half-day also where it popped up on Thursday, hit that top, and then rolled back off. What we keep hoping for is for gold to do what? Blast through that. Set new highs, go higher, and keep going. Hasn't done that yet. We'll keep an eye on things with this green spinning top and all this volume as we jump into the next week. But I will tell you, what we saw on Friday was that decent down move, 0.95%. And, of course, we go to HODL, H-O-D-L, which is the new Van Eck Bitcoin Trust since they closed XBTC, or was it XBTF? Sorry, XBTF. So we've been utilizing both that and the 24-hour-a-day Bitcoin chart. We can see how Bitcoin, with that higher than average volume last week, gave us the most recent bottom this week. Now down for the day, 0.20%, but you can see on the two-day chart, still decently above that past trend line. And as we move into this next week, is Bitcoin going to take off again? Didn't quite get up to average volume, but appears to be moving in the right direction. We were hoping for a much greater pullback for a while to sort of reset things. We did have higher than average volume, of course. And again, maybe this is the turnaround that we have been waiting for, maybe earlier than we originally expected it. Of course, we look at the Bitcoin ETF and you can see we had a doji there. Price is above the weekly trend line, if you can call it much of a trend line. We've, of course, got no information on average volume because we have to have 20 time periods like we have just more than here on the half-day chart. So we'll use this chart when it sets itself up for us to be able to use average volume on all three of our charts. In the meantime, we'll use the 24-hour day Bitcoin chart. Love to hear from you. Don't hesitate to reach out to us. cw@chartingwealth.com. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters. Be sure to check out Charting Cryptos, Commodities, and Currencies. We just released that to the public. God bless.